I think some of the things that I've seen that are unexpected are also expected. And I think and I like talking about some of these customer stories.
Yeah.
The Singapore Airlines story, the Salesforce story, this idea that already done 500,000 conversations as we kind of head to Dreamforce. I'm sure that we'll get into the millions.
Yep.
And then when I see really solid customers of ours, Lennar, which is one of the largest home builders in the United States, for years they've had this vision that they've talked to us about of not just using our apps, they use all of our apps and do all the customer work, but how can they really provide more service to their customers? How can they provide more revenue lines to their customers? And that idea, that has become very real. That's actually happening right now. That idea is going down, that this is going to be something that these customers are going to be served by these agents. And for Lennar, they have given us incredible revenue projections based on what they have found. And I think that is going to be something that we're going to see with a lot of customers. I think a lot of customers are going to all of a sudden start to experiment. And I'll tell you the most exciting thing, since we're in the Lennar zone,
yeah,
they called me originally, the CEO, Stuart, is an incredible person. Father was the founder of the company. And he said, our guys went to Dreamforce. They came back and we did a hackathon here on Agentforce. And then we have these 5 use cases. And if they deliver these 5 use cases, you're going to dramatically impact the financials of this company. And that is what is exciting for me, that we're seeing customers say, hey, how do I really use this technology in an exciting new way and then deliver that value? And that whole cycle from idea to innovation to actually delivery with Lennar, because they're live now, was about 6 months. So now
that's fast at that size.
That's fast. And also, is that the end of their story? No, this is the beginning still of the story. Because when we think about what are companies going to be like that are going to be agent first, what is an agent first Salesforce or an agent first Lennar or an agent first Singapore Air? It doesn't look like where we are today. I'm jealous of all those founders who are starting companies now because they're going to be creating agent first companies. I'm the last generation of CEOs to say, maybe you are too, that we only had human employees. Even now, I work with agents every day to make Salesforce better. And I train my employees to do that too. I created this V2 Mom process when I was at Oracle, and I've used that to guide Salesforce for many years. And now for almost 3 years, when I write a V2 Mom, 1, I always have a Salesforce executive with me. And 2, I now have an agent with me as well.
Yeah.
So that idea that it's the 3 of us working together, and we'll ask that agent really important key questions. For example, hey, how is this competitive against these key competitors? Or is this going to really expand our distribution capacity like we want? Or is this what we want to have happen with our ecosystem? And the answers are surprisingly awakening. They're good. All of a sudden say, whoa, I didn't think about that. So I like having an AI partner. I think it helps expand my own consciousness, gives me a little more enlightenment myself. So it's a tool. It's another tool in the tool chest. And I think it's extremely important that founders use that.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while, the last generation with an all human team. And I'll be honest, maybe until 6 months ago, I didn't fully get it. I thought it was a great catchphrase, but even with now, we have our agent AI come to meetings. And what I love about it is it also remembers everything. You don't actually remember what Mark Benioff said on that podcast 2 years ago, but you know what? Your agent remembers it and can contextualize into what you're talking about today, right? It's crazy, right? I like going with the prime version of myself. The digital version of me just remembers stuff and connects it in the way I can't do it. It's crazy.
That's cool. And I think that idea,
it's crazy,
that there is an agent around all the time, and we're not totally there. Like here we are on the podcast, we don't have an agent talking with us.
I think in 6 months we will.
Okay, so it's like we're making these kind of incremental gains. And I think that's a big thought.
Yes.
Hey, and now what question do you want to ask Mark Benioff about the future? And so this idea that I wrote a little tagline that I used at Dreamforce last year, which was humans with agents working together to create customer success. And I believe that. I think that this is about us working well with agents together. We're not at that point yet. It's still, if you go to help.salesforce.com, we're still at the beginning of what that could be. And I think that for a lot of our customers, we're still at the beginning of what that agentic layer means. And then over time, it can really expand. Now, let's just say this also.